The heat in Aden was a physical weight, thick with the scent of brine and cheap gasoline. 19-year-old Derailul stood at the fueling station, his shirt clinging to his back, watching the massive tankers groan against the docks of the Yemeni port. To the other clerks, these were just ships. To Dhirubhai, they were the pulsing arteries of a world he intended to own. He wasn't just pumping fuel. He was studying the flow of capital, the logistics of the sea, and the sheer, unadulterated power of a commodity everyone needed. When he returned to Mumbai in 1958, the city didn't welcome him with a red carpet. It greeted him with the suffocating humidity of a one-bedroom chawl in Bhuswar and the cacophony of the spice markets. He had $500 in his pocket and a mountain of audacity. While the established merchant families of India operated on old money and cautious heritage, Dhirubhai operated on instinct. He started Reliance Commercial Corporation in a space no larger than a storage closet, furnished with a single telephone, 2 desks, and 3 chairs. He began with spices, but his eyes were always on the shimmer of polyester. In the 1960s, synthetic fabric was the future a wrinkle-free dream for a burgeoning middle class. He didn't just want to trade yarn, he wanted to weave the very fabric of the nation. He built a factory in Naroda, a place where the looms hummed a rhythmic, industrial prayer. When the banks turned their backs on him, dismissing him as a gas station clerk playing at being a tycoon, Dhirubhai turned to the people. He took his company public, an unheard-of move for a private enterprise in a closed economy. He traveled to small villages, standing on crates, speaking to farmers and shopkeepers in a language they understood. He told them they weren't just buying a stock, they were buying a piece of the future. Thousands of ordinary Indians unknotted their handkerchiefs and handed over their life savings. They believed in the man who looked like them, talked like them, and refused to be told no. The narrative of the license Raj tried to choke him with red tape and bureaucratic hurdles. Competitors whispered in the ears of ministers, trying to dim his light. But Dhirubhai moved like mercury, finding the cracks in every barrier. By the time the 1980s arrived, the small spice trader had become a titan. He moved from textiles to petrochemicals, envisioning a vertical empire that started with crude oil and ended with the shirt on a customer's back. He stood one evening on the coast of Jamnagar, the wind whipping his graying hair. Where others saw a desolate wasteland of salt and sand, he saw a steel forest. He envisioned the world's largest grassroots refinery, a shimmering labyrinth of pipes and towers that would roar into life against the Gujarati sunset. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, golden shadows over the massive construction site, the transition was complete. The boy who had once counted pennies at a gas station in Yemen now commanded a horizon of fire and steel. He had proven that in a land of 1 billion people, the only real deficit was a lack of imagination. He hadn't just built a company. He had ignited a belief that a man's destiny was not written in the dust of his birth, but in the reach of his vision.